present in the GIBS Season-2 on the theme Post-Pandemic Market Mandate being organized by Geeta International Business School in association with ICT Academy. Today, on behalf of Geeta International Business School, I, Kavya Vidhiraja, extend a warm welcome to you all to the first episode of GIBS Season-2. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvikram Kuru Medevu, Sarvadayeshu Sarvada, which means, O Lord Ganesha, my humble prostrations to you, who is an embodiment of all wishes. Remembering you, I begin my studies, so that your grace and blessings shall bring success always. It is always auspicious to begin every event by glorifying Lord Ganesha. So let us all invoke Lord Ganesha by singing his Vandana together.
तस्मै श्री गुरवे
Gigaratan International Business School was established in the year 2004. GIBS is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, Government of India for Technical Programs, and Bar Council of India for Law Programs. The institute is accredited as Category A by NAC in its second cycle, and Category A plus by State Fee Regulatory Committee. Also, it has been rated the highest rating A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. GIBS has been rated grade A by the Academic Audit Cell of Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University consecutively from the last 7 years. It has also been rated number 2 twice by the Times B School Survey. The institute conducts various programs under the head of MBA, MBA International Business, MCA Integrated, BBA, BBA LLB, and BA LLB. After successful completion of the GIBS Talks Season-1, Gigaratan International Business School is really proud to hold the GIBS Talks Season-2. This series is our effort to bring forth the deliberations from the policy makers and from the top leaders of the corporate world. The first talk series hosted some of the prominent policy makers like Professor Anil G. Sahasrabudhe, Chairman, All India Council for Technical Education, Padma Shri Professor Dr. Mahesh Verma, Vice Chancellor, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and Professor Dr. K.K. Agarwal, Chairman, National Board of Accreditation. Today, the world is fighting a health pandemic as well as an economic pandemic, impacting business revenues. Worldwide business leaders are creating boardrooms to keep the lights on to fight this COVID-19 impact. The analysts and the think tanks are constantly engaged in finding the revenue impact of COVID-19 on their businesses and their resulting shift in priorities to access to short-term strategies. Deep diving into sectoral insights shows the impact of COVID-19 on each sector. The present pandemic situation has caused major disruptions in the business activities and changes in the business environment. Uncertainty of the situation is creating anxiety among the youth of India. The youth is now facing tough units in future career prospects on one hand, and on the other hand, corporate professionals are entangled in building new muscles to deal with pandemic to future-proof their businesses. And so, to enlighten us deeply on these issues and to help us develop a framework in order to resolve them, we have with us today Mr. Chandrasekhar, Senior Director, Human Resources at Virtusa. He is an experienced human resources professional with a demonstrative history of working in the IT sector with exposure to semiconductors, design services, IT services, R&D organization, and services environment. Being multifaceted, he is also skilled in talent management, talent acquisition, talent development, and talent engagement, encompassing consulting, coaching, leadership development, compensation and benefits management, team building, and technical recruiting. He is a passionate human resources professional with a PGDPM and IR focused in human resource management from the Draw School of Social Work. He has served prominent organizations like HP, Apple Corporation, and Lebra, and that too in the topmost management positions. Sir, it is indeed a great honor and privilege to have you here with us today. Thank you so much for graciously accepting our invitation. Without any further ado, let me hand over the stage and the podium to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you, Kavya. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for arranging this. I mean, my sincere thanks to Dr. Uma, Dr. Rohini, and Kavya, of course, you, and the wonderful recital by the person who did that. Sorry, I missed her name, who did the recital and the dance performance. And thanks to all the students and the audience on a Sunday evening, 6 o'clock. I mean, prime time with family. I think that's this is a time where most of you been spending time with your family on a Sunday evening. And thanks for joining this session, right? So, Kavya, I mean, I think I have a slide set. If you want to bring that up, I think that would be good. So you must be wondering. I mean, what is this? I mean, the whole theme is post-pandemic market mandate, right? And here, this gentleman is talking about a subject on, I mean, a topic. This too shall pass, and embracing change, right? So I just want to give you the context. Overall, in this pandemic situation, right? I mean, it all started in March, if we all recollect, and slowly we started moving forward, and today we are in September. So it's almost 6 months now, right? And if you rewind the day when it started and the day we are here today, right? There is a huge amount of change or experience each one of us have gone through in our personal lives, professional lives, and the environment as well. And we get to hear and notice on what is happening, not only in our own families, but with our neighbors, but with the whole society as such, right? So hence I thought this would be an appropriate topic to pick it up, where I can share a little bit of experiences, what I have gone through personally as well, and what are the things which are relevant for all of us in this scenario, right? So that's how I chose this particular topic, and I would attempt to cover the market perspective as well, and what is that in store for future for all of us, and how we are looking at things at this point of time, right? So Kavya, if you could bring up that slide set, I think that would be good.
Sure, sir. I just do it. Sure.
Yeah.
So the slides will take 2 minutes to be there at the screen. Will be fine, sir.
Should I bring it up? Can I share?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. Just give me a second.
कर दिया हमने कर दिया
Is it Kavya, are you able to see the slide?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Yes.
Okay. Am I audible as well?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Sure. Thank you. So, I mean, in this changing world, I think for every one of us to prosper, embracing change is the first thing which we all have to do. That is inevitable, and this pertinent statement of this too shall pass, if you go back and look at the history, how did this come into existence? This phrase, how would, or an adage, whatever you can call, came into existence. So in the I think somewhere in the 18th century, a Persian monarch wanted to inscribe, called his ministers and folks on their in the court, and asked them for a statement which he wanted to inscribe on his ring, which would stay forever. Whenever you refer, I think I mean that statement should remain this. I mean, should be relevant. That is how this came into existence, where this adage was formed. This too shall pass, right? So just a disclaimer, I mean, though I represent an organization, but all the views expressed here are my own personal views. So what does it mean, right? Why am I talking about this? Why do I want to start with this? You must be wondering, right? So when things are bad, right, please always remember it's not going to stay forever, and it won't always be the same way like how we are going through. It's going to change. And when things are good again, you will have to remember it also doesn't going to stay the same way, but it is also going to change. So whenever you get through a experience of our tough situation, I think we all should be resilient enough to understand it and hold back and start assimilating it and move forward. And at the same time, take it easy, take it with caution, give the relevant perspectives to it and handle it accordingly. So if you look back in the month of March when we got this pandemic news, right, and we all started with a kind of I would say initially there was a shock. Then I mean there was a huge fear factor which was there, right? And slowly we started moving on to understanding what this is all about, what COVID is all about, and what is it. And we started to learn how to equip ourselves and protect ourselves from this this particular situation, and then how to handle it, right? So from a fear mode, we went into a kind of a learning mode where we learned how to handle this situation and started equipping ourselves in a way it has to be. And today we are living with this pandemic. We are handling this pandemic in a more matured manner, in a more informed manner, and we are looking forward to the next steps of how to grow from here. So that is where we are. I mean, today the government has relaxed the norms. I mean, given the accountability and responsibility to individuals as well to take the necessary precautions. I would say that these first 6 months have been a period where each one of us have been or were going through a big learning curve on how to handle this situation, and today we are all equipped to move forward in the way it has to be. Likewise, if you relate to the business environment as well, right, it was a huge setback for all of us, and we didn't know, I mean, how to react. Slowly today we have started to gauge things, and we have started to look at things, how to handle it better, and the business outlook is slowly picking up now, and the economy seems to be gradually improving in that scenario, though it might not be exponential, but the way it has started moving is something which is on the right direction, right? So hence, I mean, in summary, right, this too shall pass. I think unduly getting worried about it is not going to help any one of us. Rather, we need to embrace change and start moving forward with all the grit and determination what we have, and with all the learnings what we have from our past experiences, and the amount of information which is getting shared and exchanged across nations, across continents, across geographies, right? The best practices which are getting imbibed and exchanged across the world. Take, for example, within India, Kerala has been doing great things, wonderful things, and people have been sharing that experience. Likewise, across the globe, the multiple countries were handling it in different manner, and we are taking the best practices, good, bad not to be followed, good to be followed, and things like that. Today, the world is united to look at a vaccine for this and moving forward, right? So this is the context which we are living in, and this 6 months of time frame has given us a huge amount of learning and introspection for each one of us, right? To reflect upon these specifics so that we handle the things in a better manner in the coming days ahead. So just moving on, right? This I always keep calling out, right? So when we start to react, there are two things. I mean, most of the time, I mean, react and respond. These are two, what to say, uh, two responses to stimuli which we give, right? One, which is react, is something which is sudden and immediate. We don't think about anything. We just react to it, and we don't know where we are heading to, and it naturally ends up in a manner which is completely unproductive for anybody who reacts. Whereas when you start responding to things, right, you are more calculative. You understand the situation better. The situation is under your control, and you know what you need to do in that particular situation and how to handle things, and it becomes a very productive kind of a course of action and engagement which happens when you start to responding things, right? Why am I again talking about reacting and responding? All of us here, right, either you as a student, I mean, we as working professionals, yeah, the professors and teachers who are here in this group, all of us, right? Each one of us are playing a particular role in our both in our personal life and in our professional life. And each one of us tend to react in a manner when there is a disturbance in the equilibrium. We as human beings are always averse of change, and it takes time for us to accept and move on, right? So the first reaction which we had and the things which we went through 6 months back, March, April, May, if I could call out, right? The fear zone which we were in, right? Slowly started, that was a reaction which we gave to the situation, right? And slowly moving on to the learning zone where we started to understand and now getting equipped ourselves to respond to the situation. And today we are, I wouldn't say we are 100% on track and we are on control, but at least the way we can protect ourselves from this pandemic, from a medical side of things, where you can protect yourselves physically and mentally, right? I think you are far more equipped. Personally, I would say we are far more equipped. I would say I am far more equipped. Likewise, each one of you, I'm sure you are far more equipped than what you were 6 months back when it all started. So when you react, you are giving away your power, whereas when you respond, you are staying in control of yourself. This is a very profound statement, which I thought it's more relevant for all of us to reflect upon these two aspects of reacting and responding to things. And to reiterate, when you start responding, right? I mean, you know, I mean, all those elements which are there, right? One is performance, your goals, you're knowledgeable, the facts and data and information, knowing the big picture, right? And how do you work through things and work as a group and work as a team, right? So these are elements of being being productive. And when you respond to things, these are the elements which come into play, right? Rather looking at the other reacting things, which is completely, I mean, becomes unproductive for all of us. So just think, have this in mind. I mean, that's the reason why I called out these two aspects of reacting, or the choice is yours, whether you want to react or whether you want to respond. But being responsive and responding to things makes you more productive, makes all of us more productive, and we take control of the situation and we handle it well to move forward in the right direction. So now moving on, I know each one of you would have, one of us, probably marketing students, would know the 4 P's of marketing. So I thought, okay, let me pull something together in terms of relevance to this particular topic in terms of our 4 P's, as each one of us here are now looking at what next for all of us, right? What is the post-pandemic mandate for each one of us? Today, we are in a very confused state and a confused situation, right? What needs to be done? As a working professional, as a professional in a corporate world, today we are grappling with multiple things: how to keep our workforce engaged, how to look at winning more business, how to keep people more positive, so make them stay more positive, right? How to make them keep them more engaged with the organization, right? and how to keep our employees healthy and safe. That is one of the priorities for us. Likewise, right, each one of you first need to understand, depending on what state you are in, if you are a student, what are the things which you need to prioritize in this scenario, right? Today, I mean, if you have to really look at, this is a great blessing in disguise for us. I mean, if you forget about the impact which it has caused to the economy, to the whole world, and a series of cascading effects which have happened. But if you look at the positive side, today the time is under your control, each one of us control. As an individual, I mean, as a professional, where I am working from home today, the time is under my control, right? And I can make use of my time. My commute time to office has been restricted. I mean, that is saved. Today, I don't have time for, I mean, a water cooler conversation or a kind of other distractions which you normally encounter. Rather, the time is under your absolute control. Now, what you need to look at it, right? What are the things which you need to plan for, and what are the things which you need to prioritize? As a student, you need to focus and look at what are the areas which you want to focus on, and really introspect and start connecting with people. Today, the world is connected. I mean, the technology has been enabled in such a manner. I mean, absolutely. I mean, we all must thank the infrastructure what we have. If at all the corporate companies, I mean, if at all the telecom companies who provide our broadband and internet connectivity have failed in this situation, we all would have been in deep soup at this point of time. Kudos to them, the way they have been supporting. I think this is tremendous, and this is absolutely fantastic, right? So make use of this situation. Look at prioritizing things, what you need to do and what you need to focus on, right? Depending on the role which each one of you play, each one of you are at this current point of time, and start planning. Use this time effectively to plan for what you want to achieve, right? So planning is essential, and the whole time is in your hand. Look at things, prioritize, plan with all the focus on your priorities, how to achieve your goals. Plan it in a way. And today, being connected, being at home, I think you have all the time to connect with your professors, with your seniors, with your mentors, whom not, and start moving forward, right? And then once you are equipped well enough, start positioning yourselves for the next wave which is going to come. Next thing, once the moment things become normal, right? How do you position yourself to as one of the best well-equipped individuals in the whole ecosystem, right? So that you are being, I mean, I wouldn't say saleable, rather you get what you want. You find what you're passionate about, and you know, and you get the things what you wanted to do, and you move forward, right? So last but not the least, I mean, patience. That is the last P which I wanted to reiterate, right? As Bill Gates has rightly put it, I mean, another statement, patience is a key element of success. Today, we are all grappling with this pandemic, and we are worried, absolutely worried. And all the while, if you look at it, we have been running. We didn't have time to sit, think, reflect upon, and respond to situations. But today, while we are at a pace where we have all the time in our hands, we are able to sit and reflect upon what has happened in the last 6 months. I mean, the behaviors have changed, the thought process have changed, the outlook has changed for many of us, right? As you are all youngsters, right? I mean, this is a once in a lifetime. I mean, absolutely. I mean, for us as well, it's a once in a lifetime experience which we are going through, where we haven't gone through such a thing in the past at any point of time, where like the other pandemics which were there earlier, when it all impacted the whole world, right? So you have everything in hand, and this is a huge experience where you have so much of learning. But don't get unduly worried, and be patient. I mean, today patience is the most important thing which each one of us have to have, right? And how to be resilient, how to face the situation in a manner where first your physical and emotional well-being is more important for you and your family, right? And then build upon it so that other things will fall in place, and not to hurry over things. And there is enough time. I mean, there you can take one step at a time and move forward, right? And hence patience is another key element which I wanted to reiterate on in this whole puzzle of 4 P's, which I wanted to call it out. So in summary, start prioritizing what you wanted to do, right? Plan towards that, plan towards your goals, right? Get yourself well equipped and position yourselves to the market, position yourselves to what you want to achieve, and hold on. Just hold your guns, hold on, have some patience. I'm sure this too will pass, and we will get into a better situation in the days to come. And this is not going to be the same as it is forever. While from a market perspective, today we are looking at it. I mean, we are seeing positive signs. There is sun around the corner, and things are slowly improving. And we are sure that we will come out of this situation. So these are the 4 P's which I wanted to reiterate as one of the other element which I wanted each one of you to reflect upon. I would say this is not. I mean, this is another aspect of what is there for each one of us, right? Responsibility and accountability. Today, I mean, there's a fine element of difference between responsibility and accountability. Responsibility, when you call it out, right? Today, you as a student, you have the responsibility of completing your academics successfully, learning what has been taught to you by your professors and teachers, right? Imbibing the knowledge what is being told to you, right? Trying to apply that knowledge, reflect upon it, and become a better, well-informed person. That is your responsibility. And the responsibility of you towards your parents, your sponsors, your family, your teachers is again to come out in flying colors, come out successfully in your academics, and be a successful individual in the future. That is your responsibility. Towards the society, you have to be a good citizen who is empathetic towards what is happening around, what is happening across, and how you can help each other and build out a proper ecosystem and build a wonderful nation as India as a country, right? You have that responsibility as well. Coming back to accountability, right? So what is accountability? Accountability is you are answerable for your actions, while you are responsible to do certain things which are being told to you, right? Whereas accountability goes one notch above, where you own it up, you drive things, and there is pride in what you do, and you have something which your ethics, your moral values, your trust and integrity, all these things come into play, and you are accountable for each and every action of yours and the consequences of your actions. As you step out, as you graduate and come out of your college, right, you are accountable for every action of yours. While you have a responsibility towards your parents, your family, your teachers and things, right, you have an accountability on yourself, your personal accountability of taking charge of your careers, taking charge of your future, right, and taking charge of what needs to be done lies in your hands. And each one of us are responsible for our own actions, and we are accountable towards that, right? So in this context, today the whole amount of time is there with you in front of us, right? So how effectively you use that, right? And how do you prioritize things? How do you plan things? Set up reminders for yourself, start controlling your actions, start putting things in perspective, right? And building those desired efficiencies in managing your time effectively is the key factor which would make you more responsible, in turn make you accountable for all the actions which you have been taking at this point of time, right? So in summary, my dear friends, the when I started off this discussion, we started off with the adage of this too shall pass, and change is the only constant, and embracing change, right? As we all know, what we have traveled from where we were in the past, in 6 months back, and where we are today, and now coming back to all touching upon the elements of 4 Ps, right? And now moving on to this responsibility and accountability as an important factor for each one of us, being accountable for our actions and moving forward, taking our career in our hands and steering it through at these times is going to be critical for each one of us at this point of time to be successful as an individual, as a person who is going to face the market in the coming days, right? Come up to the corporates, look upon to the corporates for your job opportunities and for your next steps of career, right? So having said that, how is the market doing? I mean, I can share some insights, which in fact I was speaking to your professors, and they wanted me to share some insights about the market and how is it reacting to, and how are we looking at it, right? So when we started this got into the situation in March, April were kind of a big shocker for us as organizations, where we didn't know how to react to it. I mean, it was more of a shock, and the first thing which we did was, as an organization, we wanted to ensure our customers are not impacted by this, right? So we ensured that the connectivity to our team members and to the customers are established. We facilitated and we tech-enabled everybody to be connected remotely from home, managed to ship them the desktops and laptops and got them prepared to be connected. And we ensured that there is zero impact to the deliverables from a customer standpoint. And that gave the credibility, and that showed that as an organization, we are accountable towards our customers, and we are responsible, and we are a responsible organization, and that gave our clients and customers more confidence in us, which started looking, I mean, the trust factor enhanced multiple fold, and as such, right, things started looking positive and moving forward from there. Whereas the customers, as such, when this whole pandemic is playing havoc across, right? They also didn't know how to react, and slowly whatever investments which we had, which they have planned earlier, started to tend curtailed, because the other priority items come into play. Similarly, like what each one of us are looking at, the well-being of the employees of the organization, looking at the business outlook, how do we enable our people, how do we manage our customers? Same thing happens for every organization. Today, after 6 months, now things have started stabilizing, and the customers also have started looking at things where how to move forward, because now we are equipped. The confidence with the customers has increased multifold, that deliveries will happen and the things will not get impacted in spite of all these things, right? That confidence has given a boost, so that things have started moving forward, and slowly it's picking up now, and we are tending to get into more projects, and more things are happening, right? And things are looking gradually positive in the way which we have, and slowly normalcy would restored down the line in the next 3 to 6 months, in the 2 quarters time frame. That is kind of the business impact which we had earlier, and the outlook which we have at this point of time. So if I have to reflect upon what happened in the past, in March, April timeframe, and now March and April, where we were all confused. I mean, we absolutely, we were all worried. Today, though we are not out of the woods, though we are not out of red, but we are in a better position where things are looking positive, and we are also confident in handling the situation better, and the customers are also confident on us. That has enhanced our confidence, right? So the whole market looks better, and this is a temporary a trough which we had, and slowly we will start. We are started coming out of it, and we'll be handling situation better in the coming days ahead, right? So why I'm stating this for each one of you is for you to not get worried and panicked that the whole market, the whole world has come to an end, or there's absolutely, I mean, there's a big impact for all of us. No, it is not the case. Yes, there is an impact. That is where I reflected upon the most important P, the patience part of it, where you need to be patient, right? While taking control of things, right? Planning, prioritizing things, right? And putting yourself into the and positioning yourself are the three areas where you need to work on using this time which is in your hand effectively, right? The next dimension which I will share as a HR professional, what we have been experiencing in the organization with respect to our employees, right? So the amount of engagement which is happening today virtually with the employees is tremendous. It's extremely high. The managers are connected. The productivity has improved, right? And people are doing more with the time which is available with them. And there's a lot of positivity, there's a lot of trust which has been built among the team members and the managers. And the people who have taken personal responsibility and personal accountability are as employees are shining well in the organization today, and they have been the key contributors for the organization today. So again, for each one of you, this personal taking responsibility of things and taking personal accountability is something which, as a skill, which you need to build upon, right? You need to hone up and move forward from now on, right? So with this, I just wanted to give you one other perspective before I close for the question answer, right? Something which I read yesterday. I mean, as one of the articles which came up. I mean, it's a snippet from the Battle of Kurukshetra from Mahabharata, right? Where Arjuna, as you all know, I mean, most of you would have known, right? Arjuna's chariot has been handled by Lord Krishna, right? And in the battle time, when Arjuna was fighting with Karna, right? Whenever there was whenever the arrows have been shot by Arjuna or Karna, right? The chariot of Karna would get displaced by close to 25 to 30 feet behind. Whereas whenever Karna's arrows hit Arjuna's chariot, yes, there would have been a disturbance, but it would move from maybe 3 to 4 feet away from the position it would disturb them, right? Always, whenever Karna's arrows hit the chariot, right? Lord Krishna used to applaud Karna for that. Whereas Arjuna, even after displaying such amount of valor and power, where his arrows get, displaces Karna's chariot by 25 to 30 feet, which obviously you know, right? Which is more powerful, right? He didn't even appreciate for once about Arjuna, and the war got over, right? The battle of Kurukshetra was over, right? And they got down, and at the end of the day, Arjuna goes and asks Krishna, right? I have shot so many arrows at Karna, but not even once you have applauded me, right? Rather, you always appreciate Karna's skills, as despite his arrows was just displacing a little of my chariot, what I have gone through, what we are, right? And in a calm manner, Krishna responds, right? Arjuna, remember, the chariot which you are in is driven by me and is protected by Hanuman on your flag at the top. And as a charioteer, and you have Shashank at its wheels, and yet the whole chariot still away, right? With me being the charioteer and Hanuman protecting you on the flag, right? with all these things, Karna was able to displace us by 2 to 3 feet by his arrows, right? Even after we all protecting it, right? And then he gets down of the chariot. Arjuna gets down, and Krishna gets down, and the whole chariot, right, catches fire, and it was reduced to dust. At that time, Krishna says, right, Arjuna, your chariot was being destroyed by Karna a long time back. Okay, it's only because of me I have been protecting it, and so far, and you were able to hold it. So he says, never in your life have the arrogance to say that you have achieved great heights. If you have achieved something, it is due to the divine will and the divine intervention, which has protected you and cleared your path to reach the right spot. And it is not that you take credit for the success always, whereas there is contribution for multiple people like Hanuman, like myself, and like all others. With this message, likewise, in this today current pandemic situation, I thought this is relevant to share this particular story, which came in, I mean, on time to share. Thought I would share this with you, so that each one of us here in this current situation have to help each other as an ecosystem. Likewise, how we are doing things at this point of time when it comes to protecting ourselves, right? So, not taking credit for our success, rather trying to reach and help each one of us and moving forward, and as a collective team being successful in this whole situation, right? With this, I think, I mean, I've done my taken time. I mean, we are 6:47, and we have some time for the questions. So with this, I thought I will stop my presentation here, and over to you,
Thank you so
Kavya,
much, sir.
for this
Thank you.
Q&A. Right.
Thank you
I
so much,
hope I
sir.
made some sense in whatever I had to share, and looking forward to the questions.
It
Right.
was really a remarkable session, sir. I must say, totally knowledge filled. Even I enjoyed it personally a lot. And especially the illustration from the Mahabharata, that was amazing. Now,
Thank you.
moving forth to the question and answer session, I would like to inform to our lovely audience here that we had received more than 1,000 questions as submitted by different stakeholders at the time of their respective registrations. I also believe that all the attendees would love getting all their queries answered by sir. However, due to paucity of time, we're only placing the most frequently asked questions before sir in order to have a maximum area of coverage. So with your kind permission, sir, shall we begin with the questions now?
Please go ahead,
Thank you,
Kavya.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the first question here is, according to you, in this changing environment, which all skills will be the most important for students in order to land up into a prestigious job in the corporate sector?
Thanks, Kavya, for this question, and thanks to the gentleman who had asked this question. I think most of this would be running in the minds of people, right? So first, I just wanted to clarify. I mean, I'm again giving my views. Prestigious job. This is all again perceptions in life. Okay, any job which you are good at and which you are comfortable in doing is a prestigious job for each one of us, right? Just to reflect upon, I started off as an administrative assistant in my first job. Okay, after 5 to 7 years of studies, academics, right? Then I started building upon it and started honing my skills and moving forward, right? So coming back to skills, it is not only technology. I mean, today, industry 3.0, if I have to reflect upon from a digital engineering company which I represent, right? As industry 3.0, things which we are looking at is artificial intelligence, cloud, big data, and analytics. Analytics are areas which, from a skill set perspective, which people are looking forward, and there is a huge potential for that, and there is a big market for that, right? Having said that, I would rather focus on more of the soft skills, which I have been reiterating in my presentation as well, right? The 4 P's which I have reinforced, right? I would want to reinforce the same thing, right? Look at, I mean, first identify what you're good at things, right? That take the help of your professors and teachers and your friends and your mentors. Start honing up those particular skills, and look at whether you're passionate about it. I would want to become a Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, I would love cricket. Okay, I'm a big cricket fan, but to become a Sachin Tendulkar, I need to have that relevant skills to become a Sachin Tendulkar, right? That is the key thing. Whereas I might be good at a photography. I'm just drawing a parallels. To look at things which you are good at and focus on those particular things. If you are a management student, right? If you have a particular liking to finance or to HR or to any subject for that matter, start focusing on that, building up on those things, right? And becoming more proficient on that. That would help you to move forward in the right direction and get I would say a job which you like and not a prestigious job, right? These are myths. Sorry, I'm 50 years old. Maybe that might sound a little bit kind of a cliche for all of you, but any job is a prestigious job. Any job is a good job as long as you love it. The job which you love, which you get it, is a prestigious job for you. Salary and money comes as a byproduct of what you do. It is not money or salary which comes first. The work which you do, the effectiveness which you bring into the table, and the value add which you bring into the organization will automatically bring you the necessary other things which would make it prestigious for all of us.
Beautifully explained, sir. Beautifully explained.
Thanks,
Now,
Kavya.
moving forward to the next question. Has this pandemic changed the job scenario in India as well as in abroad? And please also suggest as to what all changes as students we need to make in our skill sets in order to match the same things. And also, the new national education policy is reflected on the mismatch between skills and the jobs. Now, what are the skill sets or the relevant skill sets required by the India INC?
Yeah, very relevant. I mean, question again. Thanks to the person who has put this question in place, right? So I wouldn't want to comment on the education policy as such, right? But overall, in this current pandemic scenario, as I told you, we went through a temporary pause which has happened. Yes, definitely this has impacted the job scenario because the market is not vibrant. I mean, every business has come to a halt, and how will it create a job opportunity for that matter? It is sustaining and living and protecting the existing resources. That is where we are. That is why I gave you the context of being patient at this point of time, right? Definitely there is an impact, and things have started changing. That is the good news. Things have started changing now. Market is kind of moving forward, and it will get back. Slowly it will get back, right? We had a temporary trough, as I told you, and now it is slowly started spiking in, and we are going to get back to normalcy, right? So what are the skill sets which is required? I mean, as I told you, right, whatever you learn, whatever knowledge which you acquire, right, in whichever area, try to master it. When I say master it, be an expert in it and have the ability to explain and express how would you apply that in a scenario, in a given situation. As an organization, as a recruiter, or as a person who would go into the market and hire people, right? We would look for people who have the ability to express what they have learned and how to apply that in a practical scenario and provide solutions for common problems which are existing, and be a problem solver, and not only an ideator but a problem solver as well, and rolling up your sleeves and getting on to the nuts and bolts and start doing things. That is the skill set which I would want each one of you to develop. Get deeper into the area which you like, get yourself well equipped, become more knowledgeable, not only from a theoretical standpoint, but more from a practical application oriented standpoint, and whichever it is, right? And I think that will take you to the desired next level, what you wish to and where you want to land up to.
Thank you, sir. Moving forth to the next question. Do you think data analytics and artificial intelligence are going to be the highest job creators? And also, what changes the application of artificial intelligence to bring it to the contemporary businesses?
I'm glad to see that people have been well informed, right? So this is nice. I mean, to see that. Definitely, these are two areas: data analytics and artificial intelligence, which is one of the biggest game changers at this point of time, right? If you could relate to all these practical examples, what you are going through, right? But I think most of us, everybody today, are connected through our mobile phones, right? If you go and browse your Amazon online shopping or whatever, your Swiggy's or Zomato's or whatnot, right? Any e-commerce website, right? It starts suggesting things for you, and it starts posting things for you. That is artificial intelligence. That comes out of your data analytics, which they process and do. That is a level of application and usage which we have in this area. This is one simple example which I'm talking about. Likewise, in the field of medicine, in the field of agriculture, in the field of other industries, data analytics and artificial intelligence are going to be the biggest game changers for us, right? And as they have rightly put, in the contemporary businesses, the early adoption of these digital engineering skills, right, which I would put it as, right, that is going to be the key for success. And each one of us, each one of you, have to focus on it. It doesn't mean that, I mean, if you're an MBA grad, it doesn't mean that you will have to go and do a coding and do things likewise. Rather, the awareness and knowing about things on these particular areas is going to help. And for engineering students, this particular field is going to be a big boon. And this is going to be the way forward for all of us. Not, I mean, I'm talking about more from an application standpoint of usage of data, what we have, and how we interpret, how we analyze and do things. Just to give a brief analogy, I think we have, I think we'll extend by another 5-10 minutes on the Q&A if you have more questions. Just to give a brief, just one line analogy, right? I don't know, I'm sure most of us believe in horoscope. Horoscope is an ancient version of data analytics, whereas which is used for your personal things and future, whereas the current data analytics and artificial intelligence are the new norm for businesses, for business intelligence, and for predicting and forecasting the business's future, right? So with that, I leave it to you, Kavya. Over to you, Kavya.
Very right analogy, sir. Now, moving forward to the next question. How should we adapt and grow during this pandemic situation? And how should we plan our time management and make the best out of our days amidst this pandemic where online classes aren't even able to properly educate students? And also, how should we increase our sitting time for studies?
Good, typical challenge, right? 6 months have gone past now. First 2 months was, I mean, for you students, I'm just looking at my daughter now who's in class 11, right? For initial days were enjoying, and today now slowly when it came to online classes, things have started shaping up. It's a big change for both for students and for the faculty as well. I mean, I was just reading a post, some gentleman, wise men had pointed out that that the teachers were not up to the mark in teaching things and whatnot and things due to this online. Who expected this change? Who predicted this change, right? It is our personal accountability, right? The time is in your hands. I think the key thing is we'll have to put a clear timetable and put that effort on what you want to do, right? So that's what I mean. If you recall in my conversation earlier, I touched upon your physical well-being and your mental well-being are something which are very critical at this point of time. That applies here, right? When you have to follow a time regimen, you need to have a proper mental well-being, right? Put a calendar in place, right? Look at what are the things which you need to do. Both look at your physical well-being, what are things which you need to do, right? Start your day early and close your day early, right? Like your old statement, early to rise and early to bed, which makes you better, right? Likewise, you'll have to put a strict regimen in terms of a timetable and start practicing it to the T. And as the old saying goes, 21 days you practice, it becomes your habit, right? So that is the only thing to do today, and that gives you enough and more flexibility. Today, no, there is no pressure. I mean, you can either go to an online class and choose to be there, or you can bunk your class also, right? Try to get yourself equipped with better infrastructure at home, starting from your chairs which you use, because that is important as such, right? And make it convenient for yourself. And of course, there will be limitations in trying to understand over an online session. But I think your professors are available over a call, right? You can always connect after your classes, right? And speak to them, and the whole world is in front of you in terms of the internet connectivity, right? You can do your own reading, and you can always approach people for help and support. I think that again, it goes back to your responsibility and your personal accountability, which each one of us have to take, because you are responsible, you are accountable for your actions. You can't, none of us can blame the whole world that my teacher didn't teach me properly, I had this pandemic situation, so I was not able to get through. Absolutely no. I think that's clear. No for you. You can, time is at your disposal. Please start making use of the time effectively. Charter it. So many self-help things are there. Go through that. But it is the intent. If you have the will, you will have the way, and you will conquer it. That's all, Kavya, on this.
Thank you, sir. Moving forth to the last question of the session, which is, if a person is looking forward to a startup project, what investors should he or she approach and how?
Okay. Good. So okay, I'm not that well versed in from a startup standpoint, but I would try to give you some pointers on where you can look for things. Which are the agency, which are the organizations which are doing supporting this, right? The whole startup ecosystem has evolved so well now, with the government of India supporting that, and NASSCOM as an organization, right, that has invested. I mean, it has a $1 million strategy program which is specific to encourage the startup ecosystem, and they fund, they have centers, they have incubation centers which are there. I mean, to name a few, TIE is one, which is the entrepreneurs. Then we have CIIE, Startupreneurs group or organization which is there. Then the IITs alumni, they have established centers in IITs, right? I could relate, in Chennai we have a huge startup ecosystem center which is exclusively developed, right? And it's a question of your ideas which you have, right? What you have conceptualized and how relevant it is, and then approaching these particular agencies. NASSCOM is one big bet which you have, right? If you have the right ideas, I think you should get onto that, and you can approach them and present your ideas in a way it shows the real value to what it is going to come out after your project becomes successful, and you can make use of them. And there are enough and more opportunities in this current scenario. I think I just read one recent article that in the 6 months there are multiple startup fundings and startup initiatives which have happened even in this pandemic situation. So NASSCOM is the best thing. IIT alumni, I think each IIT has a center. I think people have to reach out to them and take that forward.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed knowledge-filled, and thank you so much for clarifying all our doubts with crystal clear explanations. I loved it. Now, may I please invite Mr. Anand Babu from ICT Academy to kindly address the audience. Sir, please, over to you.
Thank you. Good intro. So hope my audio is clear.
Yes, Anand.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Kavya. Thank you. Thanks for being part of this wonderful session. In fact, as sir said in the beginning, being in the Sunday evening, that too in a 6 to 7 prime time, it's not easy to make people to sit for an hour time, unless you have a people like Mr. Chandrasekhar who will who will not touch upon anything very technical, but still he hold what is important throughout everyone's life. It's not that whether I'm a student, I'm a working professional, I'm a professor, but still it is very important for people like us to enjoy this kind of a session. In fact, I enjoyed very much. Even I was listening to sir many years. In fact, ICT Academy and is blessed with people like him, who is always with us. He is one of the person who sits in our board of studies, and he's always one of our person who always wanted to share his knowledge with the upcoming generation, the future leaders of our country. So thank you, sir. Thanks for your wonderful session. And at this moment, I would like to thank Guitaratan International Business School, the management and the coordinators, Mr. Ashutosh, as well as Mr. Anup Ghosh and Ms. Uma, for arranging this kind of session where we could able to connect with Mr. Chandrasekhar, and more people are going to come up and deliver their session in the coming weeks. So I would like to have, I'm very happy. In fact, ICT Academy is very happy to be part of this kind of a knowledge series session, which we used to do normally with mass audience. And now we are doing it specifically for Gator International Business School. So thank you so much for providing that opportunity. And we'd be happy to associate, and we would be happy to empower the future generations, whether it is a teacher or a student. ICT Academy will also be happy always to empower the future generation. Thanks again. Thanks again to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Ladies and
Anand.
gentlemen, with this, we have come to an end to today's session. Indeed, I feel blessed to hear Mr. Chandrasekhar on the topic, and I also believe that every attendee must have got immense information. I once again extend my sincere reverence on behalf of Geetaratan International Business School and ICT Academy to you, sir, for agreeing to spend your precious time with us this lovely evening. Thank you so much, sir, once again. I'm also thankful to all the attendees for putting up through your provoking questions in the episode to make it even more vibrant. Thank you, everyone. And I humbly request you all to kindly join us back in the second episode of the GIBS Talks Season 2 on the next Sunday, which falls on September 20, 2020 at the same time, 6 p.m. sharp. The session would be chaired by Mr. Kenneth RB, AVP HR TCS. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for your precious time with us here. See you all in the next episode of GIBS Talk Season 2. Till then, good night. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kavya. Wonderful. Thanks to all the participants and members. And as Kavya rightly put it, let's all stay safe. Let's all be more responsible, more accountable for our actions, and ensure that we get over this pandemic, quickly get rid of it from our country, and let's all be safe and have a wonderful career ahead. And wish you all nothing to worry. I think things will change. I mean, we all will be sailing through. We are on the right track. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Anand.